Have you ever wondered why?
When?
How much?
What if?
Well, you're in luck, because you're listening to the Hypotheticast.
Three best buds.
On a mission.
To ask all the questions?
And get all the answers.
I was born with both guns blazing, and I do think I'm amazing. You got the dignity to feel a little about yourself. I don't care what your preacher says. I got my own vicious ways. Only got one commandment and it goes, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Aw, hey girl.
Hi.
You made it.
I made it. Welcome to me, to the Hypotheticast.
Hello. I've said that.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, I'm just waiting for someone to say hi back to me.
Hey.
I've been in this apartment waiting for us to
doing?
start recording. You guys have just been ignoring me. My name is Emily.
My name is David.
My name is Mike.
Let's tell everybody what our theme is.
You want to tell them right away?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
It's danger.
Danger.
I don't know. Is that good?
Dangerous.
Like an
thought.
ambulance?
Siren?
Or a
Yeah.
police?
That's
Watch
a good.
out.
That's a good.
I
symbol.
pictured in my
Yeah.
mind a Coast Guard ship coming.
Before we get into segments, do you guys have any stories you want to tell or things you want to talk about?
Yeah. What's the most dangerous thing that you can imagine?
Just-
or no.
Yeah?
What's the most dangerous thing that's actually happened?
That's ever happened?
No, to
That's
you.
happened
Oh my
to
God.
any person.
Ever.
I have a good one. One time, I was spray painting a prop for a high school play. It was a hammer, and it was supposed to be like one of those hammers you hit a person's knee with, and they like a reflex hammer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
As a doctor, I was playing a doctor in this play, and I had this little hammer.
Yeah.
But it was a big hammer for fun because it was like a joke. I was like, haha, and I would like swing it around, and it was a very stupid play. My name was Dr. Crackham, and every line I had was a pun. And so I was spray painting this giant foam thing in my alley, and I was a little bit into the alley, but like not in the way of any cars.
Okay.
And this is important, of course, because this car started coming down the alley and then like sped up a ton and honked and flicked me off. And it just was like it got pretty close to me. And that is the first time in my life I remember. I was like 12 or 13. I remember thinking, oh my God, if I hadn't moved out of the way, they would have hit me. Because apparently they were so angry that there was this child standing in an alley, and they were like, "Gotta speed up and honk and flip him off."
Wow.
So, and I remember just feeling like so much adrenaline was
Yeah.
rushing through my body.
Wow.
I didn't calm down like all night. I was just like, I could have died. I could have died. That
Did you
car-
go in and tell everybody?
I did. Yeah, I was like, Mom, I could have died.
I don't feel like I've been in really a lot of dangerous situations, but I do have an amazing story from my mom that I'm obsessed with, and I probably already told both of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I know the one.
So my parents lived in Texas for a while, and this was actually before they were even married. I think they were just dating. Living in Austin, Texas. And my mom is very small. She's like very small now, but at that point, she was like 90 pounds. Like she's a very tiny person. And she is a nurse, and she worked at hospital, and she didn't have a car at the time. And so she would usually either my dad would come pick her up, or she would sometimes take the bus, but the bus like took a really long time, and she just didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
And one day it was raining really hard, and and my dad couldn't pick her up, and she didn't want to take the bus. So she decided to hitchhike because the 70s were a different time.
Yeah.
This guy picks her up, and she's like, "Hi, okay, this is where I need to go." And he doesn't say anything. And he starts driving. Then she realizes that he's not going the right way. And so she starts to just like mile a minute talk and just be like, okay, well, I guess you could go this way, or you could go this way, but this is where it is. And trying to be very cheerful and non-threatening, but also like, I don't know. I don't exactly know what she said. And I don't think she really knows what she said either, but she just like wouldn't shut up. And then he finally very aggressively pulled the car over to the side of the road and stopped and said, "Get out." And she was like, "Okay." And then he said, "You're lucky." And then she got out.
No. You're lucky.
Yeah, like he was gonna murder her, right?
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Or
Maybe he was like an angel.
Something else.
Like, and when he drove away, his license plate said like "Bad Clarence" from "It's a Wonderful Life." I don't know.
I had that happen. A similar thing happened to me when a friend of mine and I were driving along the highway, and we were just outside of town, but there was a guy standing on the side of the road hitchhiking, and we were like, whatever, there's two of us, like, it was kind of rainy, and we're like, let's give him a ride. And I was on the passenger side, so my friend who was driving like pulls over and then rolls down my window, so I have to be like,
nice.
Hey. And like when we got closer to him, he looked scarier than we had originally anticipated.
That
like
happens.
I think, like, yeah, we got up and he just looked a lot older and scarier than we were ready for. And like, so we pull over and we're like, hey, do you want to ride? And he just looks at us and he goes, don't be stupid, boys. And I was like, let's go, bye. We left.
Wait, was he hitchhiking? Did he
Yeah.
have his thumb up?
Yeah,
Don't
well, he
be
was like clearly
stupid,
in a
boys.
position that I don't know that he had his thumb sticking out, but he was clearly like walking on the side of the highway.
I mean, I just think it would be weird for him to be actively like, I am currently looking for a ride. My
That is
thumb is
weird.
up, and then have someone offer it to him and have him be like, no, I'd rather not murder you guys.
I've gone over this scenario in my mind, and I feel like it could be that he was close to town already, and he was like, clearly, I don't need a ride. I'm already by town. Or maybe it was like, it was almost done raining, and maybe he was just like, doesn't matter anymore. Or he was like, don't be stupid because I'll murder you.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, maybe he
Car.
was just honestly like, these boys should not be picking up strange old men off the side of the road, and they need to know that.
He knows that he's a scarier person than he appears at far away. So he's like,
We'd
it's
already
okay,
pulled
you
over.
can leave. I know I'm real scary
Yeah.
close up.
Anyway, I'm glad that we live in a society where it's encouraged that we be suspicious.
Yeah,
Because
that's probably for the
when we're talking about 90-pound women getting into strange men's cars, we should all know that that's not okay. Sorry, Mom. I know it was the
Sorry.
70s.
And now she has the story.
Yeah.
And you're here.
You made it.
I
made
did.
it.
Thank
You were
God.
alive.
Thank you, murderer, for letting my mom go.
Thank you, murderer.
We're all lucky because now Emily's here with us on the
Yay.
hypothetic cast.
Oh, guys. Let's find that murderer and write him a thank you note.
If you're
Thanks,
listening
bud.
to this, then write in. We'll send you a button and a thank you note
Yeah.
for not murdering Emily's mom and by proxy Emily.
Should we do a segment?
Let's do a segment called Would You Rather.
Ooh.
It's a game entirely made up by us where we choose between two or more deceptively simple options.
Yes.
Our first submission comes from Jonathan Manchester. He asks, would you rather smuggle bees in your mouth through TSA or using parachute pants transport 4 praying mantises to a guy from Craigslist?
I like how different these scenarios are because
They
one of
are.
them just sounds kind of uncomfortable and weird, which is, of course, the Craigslist guy.
Uh-huh.
But then the TSA one actually, I mean, like, I assume, I don't know, I don't read a lot of rules, but I assume that you can't smuggle bees on an airplane. Like, that they don't
Yeah,
want you to
no.
bring bees
Not alive
onto an
ones.
airplane.
Well, I think you got to pack them in your luggage.
So if you send it through check, then
You can only have 5
are
ounces
okay.
or less.
I think bees count as a gel. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's like
they're
you can
bee
bring
gel.
toothpaste or you can bring hair gel or bees.
Yeah.
They're on the list.
5 ounces
That makes
of
sense.
bees.
I would imagine there's a way to ship bees in like a crate.
Yeah. I'm sure
Put it in
there's
the
a way to
hole-
do
the
that.
hold of
with
the
a
plane.
big like danger sign on the side.
Beware
Lightning
the
bolts.
bees.
Yeah, beware. That's what it says. Because the zoo's like, wink, we know what's fun. We're
Yeah.
a zoo.
I don't think the zoo would be. I think like a beekeeper.
Yeah.
No, it's the zoo.
Okay, the zoo for bees.
zoo
I don't think I've ever seen bees at a
I
zoo.
know, I want to now. Give me those bees.
No one should ever put bees
In
or
their-
bugs in their mouth unless those bugs
True.
are dead, and even then that's questionable, but that is not an option.
Yeah.
No, put those praying mantises in my pants. They're not poisonous, are they?
They're
No.
actually not. That actually came up on the
Yeah.
Facebook page. Someone was like, "They're not poisonous," but then we decided the dangerous part is that you're going to visit a guy from Craigslist.
That is dangerous. Wearing parachute pants.
Yeah.
But
That makes you a
I'm
target.
still for sure going for that one. I don't want live bugs in my mouth. I have a small
bugs.
mouth. It doesn't
Okay,
need
here,
that.
say
in
how
there.
What if we did? What if
it's
okay?
like 3?
No bugs in the mouth.
No bugs
No
in the
bugs
mouth.
in mouth.
First of all,
You know Emily's rule number 1. No
That is
bugs in
number
mouth.
1.
the feeling of it would be icky. The potential for accidentally swallowing, makes me want to vomit right
dang,
now.
Yeah, that's pretty
Probably
Ew.
mantises are too big to swallow
Also,
accidentally.
that is putting a praying mantis in my mouth is
Ew.
disgusting.
So many limbs.
But
Putting
they're
a
praying.
bee in my mouth is like a little M&M.
Sure, just like
My
that.
rule number 1 is bee in mouth, yes.
Oh, so you're gonna do that one?
Yeah.
What?
He just wants those fuzzy bees
I
in
don't
his
know.
mouth.
It doesn't sound that bad. Either they're going to die fast and they'll sting me a lot. Yeah.
You could put the bees to sleep
Yeah,
by
that's true.
humming, humming
Yes.
at their frequency.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
They'll know me as their new queen.
Does it say, does it say you have to go to the Craigslist guy's house?
It just says meet a guy
Yeah.
from
Okay,
Craigslist.
meet him in the Target parking lot. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
that's where I meet all my Craigslist
Yeah.
guys.
You want these mantises? You're going to have to dig. No, I think that the safer option seems like if you just have to meet and you don't have to go to a person's house, the mantises is the right choice.
Yes.
Yeah. Sean D has a question for us. He says, would you rather be in the middle of a science museum in which all the exhibits have suddenly come to life? Or in the middle of a mall in which all the mannequins have come to life?
Oh my God.
And want to kill you.
Wait, what? Is that there?
He did write that.
Oh,
I think
Because-
because the science museum ones
It would be pretty
are more
dangerous.
Potential
wild,
for danger.
but not necessarily
If the
bloodthirsty
mannequins
for
come
your
to
blood.
life and they're just like shopping, it's like weird, but it's not
Do I look
dangerous.
good in this top but no pants? Oh my God, no pants.
It's so weird that I don't have a head, right? But look how prominent my nipples are.
I actually think there's plenty of danger of two non-wanting to kill me mannequins. Like, it's such a strange social situation. I don't know if they even
Yes, it
like
would
if
be-
they're coming to life. I don't think they've had an existence before this moment. And that means that they're going to be like trying to figure everything out. They're going to have a lot of questions. Maybe they don't have language and they just like are hitting a lot of things with their weird hands.
Still doesn't sound
It
dangerous.
sounds terrifying.
Would
which
you,
I guess
because you have
run.
to teach
I
them
could
about
run.
manners? Here, let me show you.
that sounds
No hitting mannequins.
It's
Yeah,
like My
no.
Fair Lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like mannequins are creepy just inherently.
Yeah.
And it just says a science museum.
Yeah.
That would be scary, but also so much more fun and interesting.
You don't think it would be fun? Well, I guess if the mannequins were trying to kill you, it wouldn't be fun.
I feel like they have the uncanny valley situation.
Yeah.
Where like the fact that their faces usually don't have features, it
Or
would
no
be
head at
very or no head at all. It
Yeah.
would be really creepy. I just think that is an eerier scenario.
Totally.
I'd like to see just the ones that are sets of legs chasing me down. But they're bopping in the
With
wall.
like
I
the
was thinking about that.
nylons,
Yeah.
those ones that are just like just a disembodied
I
leg.
think those would team up with the ones that don't have legs, and they'd be like, "Let's work together."
Ew,
to
they'd make
get
like a
that
weird
leg."
spider creature with like
Yes.
8 mannequin legs
God,
and
this
1
is a-
mannequin torso.
What I'm excited about, I'm choosing Science Museum as well. That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And by fun, I mean maybe I would die because like some of them have some natural history elements to them. There's like big mammoth skeletons and dinosaur skeletons, and like, you know, if those things are coming to life, they're probably trying to kill me, you know, that sort of stuff. What I'm excited for is exhibits that weren't alive before, like those tornado simulators.
Yes.
It's alive.
And like weird physics games that kids play, and like the things where you draw, like maybe those like pendulums that draw pictures for kids would
Got
come to
the
life and be like, "I'm gonna
sculpture
get you, David."
Of like an atom.
yeah,
Would
all
just
that
suddenly be
stuff.
like-
I don't know what the life of those would be, because in that one, not everything is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Not
In that
everything.
one, everything is just coming to life. So I
Just-
could team up with a mummy
Mm-hmm.
with a bunch of musical stairs or something. I'm definitely thinking about the Minnesota Science Museum right
Yeah.
now.
That's
So
fair.
sorry, out of town listeners.
Yeah.
But I think there's all sorts of fun beings that I could interact with, and it could be like a Beauty and the Beast sort of situation, I think. For me, I'm the beauty.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Okay.
the beauty.
I definitely tracked that.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
Yeah. A Beauty and the Beast situation.
Yeah, because
Who's the Beast?
Who's the beast? Who
woolly
knows?
mammoth?
We'll find out. I think it's one of those stories where I'm the beauty and the beast. You know, it's like a two-sided part of my own humanity. Man versus self.
Alec Gage says to us, would you rather rollerblade through Minneapolis rush hour traffic naked
Oh.
or go running with the bulls in
Oh.
Pamplona?
Naked rollerblading. That
Yeah.
sounds
That one.
horrifying, but bulls, no.
No bulls.
No,
Yeah.
those pointy.
Rule number 2.
No.
No bulls.
No bulls in mouth.
Running of the bulls is on par with mountain climbing to me, where it's just like, what are you doing? Why? Who are you?
Yeah.
Are you really this insecure in your manhood? Sorry, that's offensive. I just I don't. It always feels like it's like, no, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I hate rollerblading. And I don't love the prospect of being naked in front of lots of people, but I'd rather do that than run around being chased by an animal that could quite literally, and would, because I'm slow, gore me.
I think I would go with the bulls because it's a better story. Like if I was like, so I was rollerblading through traffic naked, I'd be like put in prison. They'd be like, what were you doing?
Yeah.
The bulls might kill me. I don't really understand why they do that. I know that there's some significance to it, and it is kind of like, oh, I got to prove myself. But it's like, I don't know, those bulls are just running anyway. I might as well just run along with
They're
them.
running anyway.
Let's go in
Are
there.
they?
Get
Is
in
the
there.
thing. I feel
Yeah,
like it's a human construction.
No,
I don't feel like
the
every
bulls-
year the bulls
they-
just
The bulls
come.
just
every
decide
year,
they'd wanna
the
take a
bulls
run.
are coming in 3 weeks. We need to be ready.
They send an email.
They're
to
just
the
tromping
humans.
through Spain, and they just come through Pamplona, and you got to be
It's
ready.
a race.
You gotta
It's
be
a
ready.
it's a race that they do, the bulls.
It's
Yeah.
an annual race. It
No, I think
lasts
it's
all
a
year long.
perpetual race. Yeah,
A race for the cure, I think.
Yeah, it's for cancer. Yeah, bulls are trying to help. And that's why I want to support the
Yeah,
bulls.
yeah,
It
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
It's
Do,
great.
do you donate like as they run, like to their, to their
your,
cause?
Your,
How do you?
your blood gets given to
Oh, cool.
research
If
once
you
you're
die,
dead.
yeah.
Once you die,
The bulls box you up. They
Yeah,
send you
the-
off. I mean, the running with the bulls does sound fun. It sounds like participatory. And Mike's absolutely right. The other one is like, I guess that would be dangerous because people would be like, 911.
I feel like I would just paint like free the nipple on my body
Yeah,
and
that would
then
make
like
it-
just be like, it's a protest.
Yeah, you could maybe make an
Yeah.
argument for art. I would just be like swinging around.
dude.
Like, I would
Just
not be
a
comfortable.
dude.
Yeah, a naked
No
man
pants.
on rollerblades
Yeah, that
is
is more
also
alarming.
not as good
Gonna
for
be.
the man. Like I
For the
feel like
man and for
external
everyone.
genitalia is not helpful for like rollerblading.
You don't wanna
it's
trip.
not- I don't want to trip. You're absolutely right. God, I just feel like I would also fall. I'm awful at rollerblading, and there
Yeah,
would be
me
like
too.
a crack, and I would be like bonk, and then scar my whole body for life, and then go to jail. I want to run with the bulls, even though I might die.
Okay.
Let's go on to a question from Missy Kiddick. She says, would you rather try to escape from a crashing plane or a sinking ship in the middle of the ocean?
A crashing plane.
Or like it's going down. I'm not saying like it's
In
not
the act of
colliding
crashing.
with
Right.
the mountain in the middle of that.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm going to go with boat sinking. Here's why. That's terrifying, but there's no like collision point. And also drowning would suck. But I feel like if you could find a flotation device, it's not like you like have to tread water forever. Like if you
True.
find something that floats or something you can hold on to. But also if you do drown, isn't drowning one of those deaths where you feel like euphoric at the end?
I think
I don't
you
know.
panic
Yeah, I
when
feel
you
like
drown
panic.
because you're like
I mean, I think-
Freezing,
swallowing
you may
water.
be.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of freezing.
So if
okay.
it was in the Arctic, perhaps you could freeze to death. If that's what you're really going for.
Yeah,
in
that's
this
true.
scenario.
yeah,
if you were
I don't know. I
by
just
an
think
iceberg.
a plane crash.
It sounds so fast paced. I'm
So
with you.
fast paced and just like so traumatic.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like if I survived one of those, I would rather have survived the ship going down because I would have less likely to have like major trauma associated with it.
I agree for lots of the reasons that you said, but also because I think I trust myself more to get out of a ship that's sinking. I have multiple ideas for how I would get
Yeah.
out of a ship. I don't actually know what the safest thing is to get out of a plane. And
Parachute.
oh yeah, because I just have a
Parachute
parachute.
pants.
That's the problem.
Parachute pants.
Like I'd be like, am I
Yeah.
supposed to jump? Or do the windows come out and turn into parachutes? I don't remember what these ladies keep saying.
I feel like it depends so much on the scenario with that.
Yeah.
And like it's impossible to memorize all that. With a boat,
Yeah.
you're like,
Get out of it.
get out
then
and
you'll
find
be
something to
safe.
float on.
Yeah.
With the plane, it's like, well, if this is happening, then you have to do this. And if the cabin pressure is lost, I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems like, and everybody's definitely panicking.
Yeah.
My plan would just be once I feel like the plane is getting very close to the water or the ground, I would just jump out of the side and see if I
Yup.
could time it.
That's
that would
right.
honestly be my best
So
plan.
land on the ground and do a tuck and
Yeah.
roll, and then you're fine.
Yeah, and so whether or not that's legitimate, I think the reason I want to choose boat is because I think I'm too stupid to understand how to save myself from a plane.
Yeah.
So, and I can understand water.
I mean, I don't think
it's
it's that you're too stupid. It's more just that a plane is hurtling through the air thousands of feet above the earth.
I just don't trust myself in that situation.
So it's not an easy scenario to get out of.
That's true. Thanks, Mike.
I would choose boat too for same.
For
samesies. I want to just ask one more because I think it combines a couple of the things we've discussed, and I want to see what happens.
Okay.
Emily Allgaier asks, would you rather go over Niagara Falls in a barrel or wear a beard of bees?
Oh, yeah, beard of bees.
Those bees are by your mouth, Emily.
We talked about this in an earlier episode because Clara, one of our frequent contributors, she works with bees. I don't know if she considers herself a beekeeper or if she works for beekeepers, or at least she did the last time I talked to her about bees.
She's bee adjacent.
And I think she has worn a beard of bees. And I think I'd do that because I think it's quite clear that when you're doing that with the right kind of bees, they don't care about you. They're not like, they're just like, oh, we're all hanging out here. I don't know, it's a party. They're not like, who is this creature that is bigger than me? I'm going to try to sting it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an adversarial relationship at that point.
They're by your mouth, though.
That's true.
Don't forget rule number one.
Keep my mouth shut.
You breathe into your nose and then you suck a little bee up in there. What are you going to do?
No, they are stronger than my nose breathing.
I don't know, Emily. I've seen you breathe through your nose. Don't underestimate yourself.
I trust that the bees would not go up my nose.
You trust.
And I don't trust that I would not die in a barrel going over Niagara Falls.
Lots of people have done that one.
Really?
Yeah. At least one that I can remember.
At least one.
Yeah, that's a big falls. I don't understand why anyone was going over that in anything.
No, don't do it.
Like
for the thrills,
even if it was like a big comfy couch, I wouldn't want to go over it.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it doesn't matter what you go over it in. That's
barrel
the thing.
isn't going to do
I don't
anything.
understand why a barrel is a thing that people do. It's like
because it floats.
No matter what, you are going over the
barrels
falls,
have been around
and
forever.
something is going to break. The barrel doesn't just land and then you float along. Like that's not.
Yeah.
You probably get thrown out of the barrel as you tumble down. Wait. Are you like locked inside the barrel?
In the pictures I've seen, it's usually open.
It's like a boat. Like a little mini
that's
boat.
worthless. That's nothing.
It doesn't seem like it'd be
just
helpful.
jump over. Like you don't need to be in a barrel. Just jump.
Yeah.
If you were locked inside, I think that might be a different kind of thrill.
You'd be claustrophobic and going over a waterfall.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
David is thrilled by
I
this.
feel like a piece of clothing in the dryer. Whee! Like I don't know. It could be fun. Somebody could be into that.
Somebody who's in this room, I think.
Hello. Next segment is called The Meat. And that is because it is in the middle of the show. So it's like the meat of the sandwich. But we also get more into the topic, get a little more in depth, a little more meaty.
Yeah.
So today I'm the meat handler. I have a question for you guys.
Thanks.
Okay. One day you wake up and you leave your apartment and a forest witch comes up to you.
Forest witch.
I'm saying forest witch because I just learned about them, like that there were an actual thing in Hungary in the late 1500s.
Wait, like they were real? Like...
No, I mean it was just like a thing that people called witches.
Oh,
like,
okay, I got you.
She's a forest witch.
As opposed to a city witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hey, I just cursed you. You have
I just cursed you. And this is crazy.
You have to pick a new job, and it has to be a dangerous one. The only thing I can guarantee is that whatever you pick, you will immediately be instilled with the skills needed to perform that job successfully. So you will have the abilities and skill of like an average person in that job. But no more safe jobs for you. What do you pick?
Stunt person.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I want to do stunts.
Yeah, what kind of stunts?
I want to do movie stunts where I like jump off buildings through glass windows.
Because aren't there are some that are like stunt drivers?
I want to do it all.
Okay.
A jack of all stunts.
I'll start at the Waterworld Stunt Spectacular at Universal Studios, California, where I'll dodge the airplane and get exploded on and go into the water. Yeah,
get exploded on?
Yeah, like an explosion will happen near me. It'll launch me into the water.
Yeah, okay.
Is that
so? The have you seen that show?
No.
Okay, spoiler alert for you. I just kind of spoiled it. But the climax of that show is a big plane comes flying over, comes like over the wall and lands in the water. I think. Have you seen it?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, so I'm spoiling it for both of you. I'm sorry.
I
Wait,
don't-
is this
I'm
like
never
a
gonna
show?
see this.
Yeah, no, this is not ever something I'm gonna.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, lots of things. are
It's
fun.
like a. Have you ever been to a stunt show? Have you guys ever done this?
No.
I don't think so.
Because I've been to it also at MGM Park in Florida.
Is it like the shows at the Renaissance Festival where they juggle fire? And
It's a different than that because there's basically like a super flimsy narrative. Like there's an Indiana Jones stunt spectacular at MGM, and usually what happens is there's like an MC that comes out and he's like, "Hey everyone, we're at the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. Oh, here comes Indiana Jones on the run from some Nazis," and then he has to
Sure.
think, "Oh no, he's stuck at the top of that tower," and then the tower falls down, and he's like, "Uh-oh, that plane's on fire. Better try to get away." I mean, it's like super cheesy, but it's also like they're actually doing live
spectacular.
stunts.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
is
the whole
pretty cool.
point. And
Yeah.
so like even though it's kind of cheesy and it's obviously not the real Indiana Jones, like
Wait,
yeah,
it's not.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
I'm not
David.
going. Is Kevin Costner at the Waterworld one?
Yes.
Okay, I will go to
But
that.
just in the audience.
He's just there like,
I
"Good
did
job.
that.
Yes,
that was me once upon a time.
I approve. This is accurate.
Then there's the Field of Dreams stunt spectacular
Yeah.
that he actually does that one.
Will he build it? It's hard.
So I'd start there. I mean, really, like, I don't know the role of the stunt person in Hollywood now because of all those computers stealing our jobs.
Oh my God.
I mean, they can just put your face on any old thing now.
I feel like actually, I don't know. I haven't talked to a current working stunt person.
Okay.
But I wonder if maybe it's just opened up some of what they can do because with computers they can create a different background and scenario and they can just make it look better, but still is useful to have an actual human doing something.
Like, I think there's still a role for stunt people, obviously. But yeah, it's probably changed a lot because of like green screens. So you're not jumping off an actual building anymore. It's just like a little ledge covered in green paint. I do think it's still obvious when the stunts are actually being done.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, yes, computers can do amazing things, there's nothing like watching an early 90s Jackie Chan doing a rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know that's the real deal. Some movies still that you can be like, oh, those people are actually in some sort of physical danger. They're always talking about how Tommy Cruise is hurting himself on the new
Yeah,
Mission
I
Impossible.
know.
Oh my God.
And like
He's
when you watch
hurting
like
himself.
Mad Max Fury Road, I mean, you can watch the comparison videos. Some of that's fake, but somebody had to be driving those cars and jumping
Yeah.
around on them. Like that part was still like computers are not
Yeah.
there yet where they can just
Right.
like make anything happen and make it seem totally real. So, oh yeah, that's my dream role. Next Mad Max movie.
Oh, man.
Not Mad Max, just one of the like
Mad
wild
Max.
guys chasing him.
Wild guys.
Yeah,
It's
the
us,
wild
the wild guys. We're going to get you, Angry Mike.
David, what's your answer?
I feel like I want it to be some kind of a deep sea fisherman. Like I want to be one of those dudes that wears a cool yellow raincoat and stands at the front of a boat like grabbing poles and it's like real windy and stormy and I'm like yelling and I'm like, we're going to get those lobsters
I mean,
or
I
whatever.
think deep sea fishermen would mean that you would need to like go down into the deep.
They bring a boat out into the ocean and then they drop these like huge hooks
They have
and giant
like
lines.
cages and
stuff.
hooks they
Yeah.
put down. They're,
So it
they're
goes
fishing
way,
the
way,
deep.
Yeah.
way down.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it, like the show Deadliest Catch is like that's me. I
Okay.
want to be that. Like
You want to be the deadliest
I want
catch?
to be the Daveliest catch. That's me. I want to find like the coolest, biggest fish and snag it and get it.
Giant squid.
Maybe. Who's to say?
You want
I
the
don't know.
deadliest catch.
I want the deadliest
I
one.
don't think they ever caught it because they kept doing the show.
Yeah, that's true. They're on the hunt for the deadliest
deadliest
actually, because
catch.
that's when they all die. That's when they know it's finally been the deadliest.
That would be a
catch.
good name for a dating show too. Deadliest catch.
Yeah, it would. A dating show for fish.
Could be for fish. Yeah.
I would like to do that, I think, because it sounds like adventure. It sounds like maybe the closest thing that's like legal and okay that to like whaling and the sort of romance
yes.
that comes from being on a whale ship and like hunting down prey. I'm not a big hunter, but I think that it seems like there's an industry actually. It's almost farming when you're doing fishing. as a profession.
It's like farming.
It's very different in execution, but economically it's the same thing. You're like, here's a bunch of things. I'm going to take as many of them as I can and sell them for money.
Sure. And there are a lot of them. You're not, although if you do catch a giant squid, you should not kill it. You should just
I'll just
give
hug
it to the scientists to study.
That would be cool too, to be like a catcher that doesn't kill and like does studies. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. You don't want to be a whaler.
Right.
Because we need to not kill them.
Because that depletes the world of the beautiful creatures that are whales.
Yes.
The best thing would be to be on some kind of like cool science boat that tries to catch the deadliest things so that we can study them and then put them back in the water with a little bit of experience. They've had a fun time up here on land.
They have a story to tell.
And then I say to the fish when they get lowered back into the water, "You're lucky."
Oh no! You'll haunt their fish dreams.
And then they're like, "I was almost murdered."
And then they tell their little baby Emily fish that they were almost murdered by a weird.
They never shut up about it.
Guy in a boat with a beard.
Do you know if you get seasick at all? Have you been on?
I get motion sick.
Okay.
Who knows? If I get seasick, well, I'll get over it.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually there is something to that.
I'll get used to it.
It goes away eventually.
Or I'll just be throwing up all the time, but that'll make the show more dramatic.
So
also, I assume I'm on a show.
Love it when shows have vomiting.
Yeah, that's the most dramatic thing.
So fun.
Is barf. Yeah. Will they barf? Could they? Deep Sea Dave.
Deep Sea Dave, that's me.
I am going to pick hunting down killers.
I think hunting down. Wait. Yeah, okay.
And I know, and Mike pointed this out too, I know that a lot of this work is more just like paperwork and it's not like the movies and the TV shows, but still, I want to be like an investigator, a detective that handles murder cases, goes out and finds and like interviews and plays mind games with and
plays mind games. You're gonna be Clarice.
I think you probably want to be the Gillian Anderson from The Fall.
Yes.
Dana Scully.
That is what I want to be, for sure. There you go. That's my dangerous job. Gillian Anderson's character in The Fall. Yeah. Silk Blesses and O. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, she's such a bad bitch.
Right. Well, and she fits the actual like desire of I want to be in like this sort of psychological battle where I am in physical danger, but I'm also in like there's terrorism almost happening to me from this serial killer, and you're like locking wits.
The dangerous part is not necessarily that like the killer then is suddenly like, I'm going to kill you, because that's usually not how it works.
No.
But there's definitely a lot of like communicating with unsavory, potentially dangerous people, going to places that are slightly dangerous. I mean, just in general, police work is dangerous. I am specifically interested in the like crime solving, murder solving specifically. So it's maybe not as dangerous in some ways as the jobs that you guys picked, but I feel that it would be incredibly satisfying to have a hand in taking down horrible people who do bad things.
Would you be more of a Rizzoli or more of an Isles?
I've never watched that show.
But based on their names,
I've never either.
Based on their name, so. I don't think I'm cool enough to be Italian, so I'd have to go with Isles.
Isles.
I'm just too like pale and nervous. Yeah, Rizzoli sounds like she's
too cool
probably super sassy. And
let's speculate a little more about what Rizzoli
I hope our listeners who are dedicated fans of that show. How about, would you be more of a Franklin or more of a Bash?
I don't know, what's that from?
That was the one. It's Franklin and Bash. It was one that Zach Morris was on for a little while.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Would you be Matlock?
Yeah, I would be Matlock.
Yeah, what would be like your style? Like, what would be your thing? Like, are you using math? Are you using your mentalist powers?
I'm definitely not using math. I'm using my ability to understand like the internal workings of humans.
Psychology.
The internalist.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that's a kind of doctor. I want to be like a profiling, like to be able to understand like what kind of person would do these sorts of things and why, and then use that knowledge to find the people and then use my methods of interrogating them to get them to confess.
The profiler.
Like that friend on Hannibal.
Will Graham?
Will Graham, thank you.
Yeah.
Like Will Graham.
Yeah.
He just goes in and he's like, I know how you think.
Less like awkward and sweaty.
Sure. Yeah, less sweaty's good.
I feel like he sweats in every scene in that show. It's like, makes
they just
me really
sort of
uncomfortable.
douse him in oil before every shot. They're like, all right, Will, you're sweaty again.
This summer has reminded me of how much I deeply hate sweating. It's one of my least favorite things that my body does.
There's nothing I like more than sweating deeply, though.
Ew.
I'm just saying.
It's part of the crime chasing game though. Like
Yeah.
you gotta.
I would have a
get in
very
that
well air
interrogation room.
conditioned
Oh, it'd be
car.
well.
Yeah.
Your car would be.
You would never leave your car.
I would always have like some nice cool beverages for the interrogation room, and I would wear loose, light material.
Okay.
I would always be cool and calm and collected.
Oh, but what about when you're doing a lot of research and you're like filing through papers and you can't figure it out and you wipe the sweat from your brow?
No, I wouldn't
have to
do
be able
that
to
though.
do that.
My move of that nature would be
Okay.
like at my house, it's real late at night, papers everywhere, books, internet screens. I'm
Internet
so
screens.
stressed out. I'm figuring it out. I'm cracking the case.
Yeah.
And I have my my gin and tonic and I take a sip and I
Okay.
put it down and then I just like put my hand on my forehead like, oh, I have a headache, but I need to do this. It's so important and I'm so good at it.
That's your catchphrase.
Maybe you're-
I have a headache, and I need to do this. It's so important, and I'm so good at it.
That was sort of the subtext of that scene, but if I have to say it, that's fine too.
That's also good.
I would also have to have a better name. I'd have to have a more serious name.
Not Isles.
Isles is like those names are cool detective last names.
Isles Dussault.
My name is No, that's the last name.
I don't know
David.
their names. I think those are their first names.
not.
I'm pretty sure.
It's
As
like
an
Stephanie
avid
and Jessica
reader.
or something. No, my first name would need to be like Ellen DeClaire or something
Oh.
super easy to pronounce, unlike my current name, but also vaguely European.
Not explicitly, but there's a hint.
I hate
Perhaps
European.
she's from across.
You
the
want it to have
pond.
2 syllables, so it's like a double punch. It's like ba-bam.
Ba-
So
It
that
could be
like when my
ba-bam.
boss gets frustrated with my techniques, he
Yeah.
can like bark it out at me.
Ah, you've gone too far.
Declare.
Declare.
And I can be like, I don't think
Yeah.
I've gone far enough.
Yeah, Steven. I picture Steven Seagal as your boss. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he is sweaty.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Always.
he's smart and he knows what he's doing, but he sometimes just gets too bogged down in the details and the paperwork and
Yeah.
the rules.
Ugh.
Too many rules.
Stop it, Steve. He plays himself too. Steven Seagal as himself as your boss. This next segment is called Would You Blanket? And it's a segment where we ask a series of questions to one of us. In this case, it is Emily, in search of the perfect equilibrium. Basically, what that means is we ask a bunch of stuff. Emily says if she'd do it or not, and we adapt. This week, the question is, would you save it? All right, so Emily, you live in the world of the Lion King. You are a little lion, and your dad is a big lion. And you're walking through a gorge one day, and all of a sudden, a stampede starts. Kind of like the running of the bulls. A little bit.
Is it a stampede of bulls?
Sure, it's bulls.
Wildebeest.
It's not wildebeest this time, it's bulls.
Okay.
Oh.
So technically this is a separate property it's a different scene from the scene from The Lion King. It's
Okay,
not
good.
wildebeest this time, it's bulls.
Great.
Lots of bulls. They're coming and your dad's like, "Oh, cool, let's run with the bulls. That'll be fun, right? My name's Terry." And so you start, your dad has also, it's very important to note, you have like your human face, but on a lion body.
Ew.
And your dad has his face, but on a lion body.
Oh, that's so gross.
I just want to make that very clear.
Fine.
It's part of it. You start running next to the bulls and it seems pretty safe, but then he's seeking those thrills and he's like, "Oh man, I'm going to get closer. I'm going to get closer. Maybe I like slap one of the bulls on the butt, just to like encourage them." Because that's
Inappropriate.
classic Terry. And but then he accidentally gets his tail stepped on by one of the bulls and he gets swept up into the rushing stream of bulls, basically. Do you save him?
But
Do you try to save your dad from being killed by a bull? Because he will die.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yes?
I love my dad.
Even though
I
he
would
has
like to
a
save
human
him.
face on a lion body.
Yeah. Yes, of course I would try to save my dad.
That's
I
nice of
mean,
you.
I'd probably not be happy to be in that scenario in the first place, but maybe my lion self is more okay with that kind of thing.
A little bit
So,
more
yes, I would try to save my dad. My
courageous.
dad is a great guy.
Yeah, he seems nice.
Okay, so you run up a cliff to try to get a better perch to get to see where your dad is in the herd of bulls in the canyon that you're running through. And so you see him, and he's got onto a rocky outcropping that's sticking out of the canyon. And so you reach down to try to get him, but your perch starts to crumble, and you turn around, and there's some nasty hyenas behind you that are like, ooh, gonna save your
One
dad.
of them voiced by Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, and also
Sure,
whose
yeah.
faces do they have?
They're all Steve Buscemi's face.
No, run.
Okay.
And they're like, are you going to do it? Because we're going to shove you down there and you're going to have to die.
What?
What is
Wait,
my
what's
choice?
the choice?
What choice
Are
do
you
I need to
going to
make
keep
right
trying
now?
to save your dad or get out of there?
The cliff will crumble and I'll fall down to where my dad is,
Yeah.
or I'll
into
run
the-
away and just leave him.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like an all or nothing. Like if you fall down in there, you're going to die maybe.
Yeah.
And you can't get out, or you are like, you give up because you're like, I'll never save my dad.
Yeah.
And all these hyenas are my new dad.
Put together,
Yeah.
the three of them together equal one dad.
A little Cerberus.
Yeah.
I feel like if there's a chance that my falling down to where he is could save him, I will do it.
Cool. The thing crumbles and you're like, screw you, hyenas. Steve Buscemi, you can't control me. I'm going to save my dad. As you like roll down this cliff and you slump to the ground at the bottom, and there's really not a lot of room in this place where you've just fallen. So you get picked up. A bull's hoof kicks you and it hurts. You know, you get the wind knocked out of you a little bit, but then you like fly up in the air and you land on the back of one of the bulls. So now you're like atop the stream and you can see your dad and that rocky. He found a little hill, but he's being hit by bulls on either side. So in this fiction, your mom is dead. She's died a long time ago, and this is important because
Was she murdered when she was...
you're about to find out. So you're riding on top of this bull, and you're still trying to save your dad, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get over there and how you're both going to get out. You're like, Dad, and he says, Emily, I feel like I might not make it. I have something to tell you. I killed your mom, and I'm not sorry about it. I just had to get that off my chest. Do you still want to save him?
That's horrifying. But yes, because I would need to know more. I'm not going to be like, okay, that one sentence, and now I'm mad at you and going to let you die and not ever figure out like what the hell you're talking about and try to get like the story behind it.
You got to get the story.
And also if I don't know, if I already have one parent that's gone, I want to keep the other one, even if I'm mad at that one.
Yeah, save him for the story.
This shocking revelation has occurred. Suddenly, a giant condor swoops out of the air and grabs your dad and flies away. But a little plane lands on the rocky outcropping, and it has some little mice in it. Yes. And they're like, hey, we're from the movie Rescuers Down Under. And we can help you go and help your dad. But our little pal Evinrude, the dragonfly, is tired and he needs to take a nap inside your mouth. So we'll fly you to get your dad if you let him rest inside your mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm a lion.
You're
Yeah.
a lion.
Oh, but I have my face. I was gonna say if I'm a lion, I probably have a bigger mouth.
Maybe you have a bigger mouth. Like when you roar, it sort of turns into a lion's mouth. It's really
Okay.
not pleasant to look
Yeah,
at all.
I'll do if I'm committed to trying to save my dad still. I can take a dragonfly in the mouth.
Okay.
I don't want to, but I'm gonna do
man.
it.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna lean really hard into like trying to make your dad seem like a bad
Oh,
person,
God.
so that you don't
And I
want to
feel like
save
that
him
is the
anymore.
game, yeah.
Okay, so you get in this little plane and you fly. You follow this giant condor, this endangered, beautiful bird that has stolen your dad, and you approach a big mansion. And you're like, oh my goodness, wait, there's a big gate and lots of gargoyles. And the condor flies to the tippity top of the Toppest Tower. And you see a furry claw reach out and pull your dad in. And then, so
Beast?
maybe, we don't know. The little rescue boys and a dragonfly, I guess, is also there. I don't know anything about the rescuers. They're mice and there's a dragonfly.
There's lady mice too.
And there's
not
okay,
just boys.
okay, sorry. The little rescue friends, they are like, we're gonna continue our rescue of your dad. That's our job. They fly into that window, and you see your dad and the Beast shaking hands, and the Beast is like, I'm so glad you finally made it to the secret meeting of the men's rights activists. and he cuts, he has giant scissors, and he cuts a cord that is like, he's like opening the park, and it's just called like, what about the men? And everybody has signs that say like, no more double standards. And your dad is like, I love this. This is what I'm all about. Do you still save? Do you save him now from
the men's rights activists?
I guess from the men's rights activists.
Honestly, now that his life is in danger, I would be pissed and disgusted. And then, like, I guess I would leave, and I would be like, he's gonna need to come and like show some interest in discussing this with me. I'm not gonna be like, no, Dad, let's talk about this. Like, he's at this weird. Maybe the whole thing was a setup. Maybe it was all just a setup to distract me so that he could get away to this men's rights activist convention.
Maybe he was trying to kill you off too.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm pissed. I think I'd just leave and be like, talk to you later, Dad. And then I would rewrite the lyrics of the mob song from the Beauty and the Beast to be about men's activists.
Awesome. Okay, could you give us a couple bars of that?
We're not safe until they're dead. They'll come stalking us at night.
Next up, we're going to do a segment called What You Got, Fellas? By fellas.
Fellas? Okay.
I'm really sorry. To me, fellas is one of those things like guys, which has become just like a jovial term, which I don't mean to gender anybody a certain way. Buds,
folks,
what you got,
friends.
buds? Yeah.
Buds is a good one.
Hi, bud. If I were you, I would watch the show called Danger 5.
Yeah.
It is a show about a group of super spies that try to kill Hitler a lot every episode, but he gets away. I really want to say a lot more about the show because it's really bizarre and funny. I don't even think I should. I should just say, if you have an odd sense of humor, or a normal one, honestly, and you're interested in watching something real dumb and that spoofs old action stuff, check out Danger 5. It's on YouTube, I think. It's on something. Look for it.
I've come to enjoy a podcast that is not the Hypotheticast lately. Sorry if that offends anybody.
Yeah, it does offend me.
It's called Teen Creeps. Let me explain. It's two ladies reading old school teen horror fiction. Mostly, it actually started out they were just going to read Christopher Pike's entire works. And then they branched out.
Christopher Pike.
They branched out into other stuff like Sweet Valley High, creepy ones, or even like a couple babysitter clubs, R.L. Stein.
Nice.
And they just like every episode they just read a different book and talk about the whole plot of the book and just all the absurd stuff that happens in it.
They read it off air.
They don't read it out. It's not an audio book.
Jeez, that's a long. Okay,
they read it off air and then they just discuss the absurdities. Like they even read a Hardy Boys case file, like which I listened to because I read a ton of those when I was a little tween. There's a whole bunch of those books. Yeah, they're mostly just memorable because of their covers. But when you actually read them, like there's a lot of absurd stuff that happens.
Sweet.
So
Teen Creeps.
So yeah, check it out.
If I were you, I would go see a show at the Fringe Festival in Minnesota that's coming up. It's called Blood Nocturne. Actually, I would just see many of them because there's a lot of amazing looking shows in the Fringe Festival, which is August 2nd through August 12th right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you're from out of state, I'm sorry, but maybe you should come.
Yeah, just come visit. You can stay with us.
The specific show I'm going to talk about is called Blood Nocturne, and I am in it, and I am playing Elizabeth Bathory. If you have never heard of her, you should look her up. She was a very dangerous lady, or so they say. Oh. Was she? I don't know. Come to the show and find out.
I bet you do know.
I think it's going to be really, really cool. I'm really proud to be a part of it. And if you look up MinnesotaFringeFestival.org and then look up Blood Nocturne, you can see all the times that it's playing. I think it's going to be pretty great, and I would love to see you guys there.
Dangerous things to do with yourself.
Cosmo, 3 dangerous things to do with yourself that will blow his mind.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much for listening. If you want some other things to do now, you can look us up on the the internet. We have a Facebook page. Find us there. We post a lot of questions. You can comment your answers. You can message us on there. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. You could email us if you don't want to do the social medias, hypotheticast@gmail.com. We also have a website that is hypotheticast.club. You can find us on those places, reach out, give us your ideas, answer your questions, or just say hi.
We really like it when you contact us, write reviews on iTunes or any podcast app that you use, or just talk about us, interact with us on Facebook. That's helpful. We actually have a listener submission that we wanted to read now from a friend of the podcast, Amanda. She texted in her own 2 truths and 1 July. So David did not get to hear these, so I'm going to read them, and then David can guess which one is the July.
Perfect.
1. I once attended a ball at the Habsburg Palace in Vienna, Austria.
Wow.
2. My freshman year of college, I fell out of my lofted bed and landed on top of my roommate whose bed was not lofted. 3. On choir tour in college, the bus accidentally left me at the Grand Canyon, and because it was before everyone had cell phones, I had to just sit around and wait for them to come back for me.
I mean, that sounds real. I feel like I've had that last experience.
We all have.
Loft falling.
You think that's the July?
That's the July.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah, the one that is the July is the Grand Canyon one.
Oh, okay.
I think we thought that was true too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like something that would happen to Amanda. And she admitted that it was something that would have happened to her, but it
Sure,
didn't.
but it
It happened
didn't.
to another person in her
Nice.
choir.
It's very believable. Good job, Amanda.
Good job, Amanda. We liked that.
Thank you to Jaden James and The Hunger for their song Killin' It, which we use as our theme song. And thanks to Christian Hagen for the logo he made. We have buttons. You can get them if you want them by sending us a message on any of our social media or just by sending in a picture of yourself having a nice time. But you have to be listening to the Hypotheticast while you are having that nice time, or we won't give you a button. Those are the rules. We're sorry. We didn't write them. We just have to enforce them. Thank you for listening. Thank you for submitting all your questions. And thanks for being you.
Yay! Thanks.
Do we have one more segment?
Yeah, we do. It's called No Questions Asked.
Okay.
It comes to us from Tom Reinert. Would you rather be on the highway to the danger zone or take the back roads to the danger zone?
I mean, highway. No, back roads.
Back roads.
Back roads.
Back roads.
See you there, folks.
Bye.
See you at the danger zone. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are beautiful inside and out.
Yes, every part.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm marching, marching on, 'cause I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Backwards to the danger zone. Danger zone.
I'm picturing an animated rat singing that, and I really
Come
like
with
it.
me to the danger zone.
I will not. I refuse.
Hop into my
It's
car.
that rat.
Go
Have you
to the
guys
danger
seen the
zone.
rat washing himself?
I wash myself in the danger zone. Danger zone.